These days, Britt Chevrier cracks open a non-alcoholic beer to relax. But that wasn't always the case. Before the pandemic, she considered herself to be a gray area drinker. She functioned well at work, was financially stable, and maintained close relationships. But sometimes she thought her alcohol consumption was on the cusp of the danger zone. Then came COVID-19. Suddenly there was a lockdown and time, lots of time. Chevrier used alcohol as a coping mechanism.
We also saw a lot of promotion around alcohol during that time. I think that we all, in unison, within our community and within the media and our society, started to lean in a little bit more on alcohol for that reason, because it was a scary time and we didn't really feel like we had many options other than to just hold on and live day by day.
Chevrier noticed that drinking in lockdown became a huge focus on social media.
Isolation drinking games and drinking Olympics. And I think it was just to lighten the mental load. So it had good intent, but ultimately, again, the vacation did end, the isolation did end, and I wonder where that left a lot of people, because it certainly had a negative impact on my own drinking.
Experts say that during the pandemic, options for alcohol home delivery, curbside pickup and takeaway, and app orders increased. In 2022, for example, food delivery app Skip the Dishes extended its alcohol delivery service to Saskatchewan, featuring 60 alcohol vendors and restaurant partners across the province. And the province tells CBC that SLGA is allowing alcohol to be sold for takeout and delivery as part of a food order from a restaurant on a permanent basis.
I think in terms of alcohol, that the major lasting negative legacy of the pandemic will be the relaxed policies. And in many ways, industry got a 20-year wish list of all the rollbacks of policies that they've been waiting for.
Dr. Tim Namey says it will take time to know the extent of the damage, but it's clear that overall alcohol consumption increased during the pandemic. This is something addiction counselors saw firsthand.
I would have people phone and say, I'm just curious as to what an addict or an alcoholic would look like.
Lauren McDonald heard how people were drinking more and earlier in the day as the pandemic progressed. Some went from 2 bottles of wine every few days to 2 cases.
And if you have to have a drink at 8 a.m, and then a drink after lunch, that's a lot. That's a lot of drinking. So the sober curious, I think they didn't enjoy speaking with me on the phone because they saw what they were becoming.
McDonald says some alcoholics relapsed during the pandemic and a large number have not come back from it. After giving up alcohol altogether in March 2021, Chevrier created a social media account and blog called Sober Flatlander.
A lot of people perceive sobriety still in a way that suggests that we kind of have to be hush-hush about it, or we shouldn't be proud of it because we're admitting that we had a problem with our substance use.
Chevrier hopes to fight the stigma around being open about sobriety and inspire others to dump the alcohol for good. Laura Sharpaletti, CBC News, Regina.